have to marry. I need to. It's a must. I know what God told me. Meanwhile, you who is under pressure for this now, there are marriages that immediately equals to a questionable eternity. Because the fact that you have married an unbeliever, your chances to even make heaven, your soul will always be burdened with bitterness. What do you do when your husband goes out, sleep with people out there, does not only dishonor you, come back home with a girl, and you are taught in church that still honor him, still be happy, don't let bitterness enter. If you die without bitterness, you are going to hell. Meanwhile, the challenge is that you are not the one that committed the sin. It is somebody's sin that puts your soul in that state. You are controlled. This is how, it was this kind of matters Jesus was sharing. The disciples say, if this is how this thing is, it is not good to be married. Does that mean somebody will make a mistake? Then me, I will now be on the receiving end. When Jesus finished giving it a teaching on marriage, the conclusion of the apostolic order was that it's not good. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know you will not answer. You know, he said that, see, that if a woman divorces her husband, or vice versa, let that person remain unmarried. This is Jesus' teaching. Meanwhile, I don't care what men are doing. If you open the Bible, you will see these words in red. Anything you see in red, it means it came out from the mouth of the master. Let her remain unmarried. It means, since you say you cannot do again, that his own is too much. He say, if you move, stay on your own. Stay. Then he says, if any man is moved with any feeling for you that comes to marry you, he said that man commits adultery. You pretend like you didn't see it in the Bible. I read it almost every month. So, I want you to see what is doing you, Jim, in your body. That thing that you cannot rest for. See what is at stake first. That if you make mistake on this matter, that even from heaven, they'll start trying to make mercy available so that you will not miss it. You will not miss it. They say, okay, the chances, just imagine that because of something you did, your chances of making heaven became 50% lower. Let me show you. Let me show you statistics. Do you know that a great deal of married people are not happy? many layers of issues unsettled. Sometimes they wear and go and come to church. It's when they near the church, they change their face. But many of them don't even sleep in the same room. I sit down with them all the time. Now, the young ones are running into marriage. The old ones are running out. So, we don't know what is happening. Then you meet an elderly man, he say, I miss my single days. Kai, what will I do to have those days back? A young man is saying, if next Hamatan meets me unmarried, make I know anything happen. You will soon realize marriage is not for cold. It's not for cold. It's not for cold. If you are cold, buy a sweater. Buy a sweater, buy a jacket. If the cold reach your hand, buy hand glove. But by all means, marriage is not for cold. If you make that mistake, the level of attack Satan will occasion on your life on account of the lack of alignment that you accommodated, you will be amazed. Faithful people serving God, doing well, blossoming. Come and look at them after maybe 2 years in an abusive home and see what they look like. A shadow of themselves. What I'm trying to tell you is these things that are putting you under pressure, I'm showing you their weight in the scale of eternity. It doesn't carry much weight. those of us sitting here, you can eat, you can clothe, you can pay your house rent, but you are still very, very unsatisfied. You are restless up until your blood pressure has gone up. What is wrong with you? There are those of you sitting here, you know you don't have to beg to eat, but your mind is consumed with so much restlessness, and it's taking you to an early grave gradually. Godliness with contentment is great gain. Nobody says God will not bless you, but as God is increasing and improving your life, enjoy the process. There are too many people that if they'll ever be happy now, is that they will just imagine something good happening in their life, then they will smile. The moment they come back to reality, they are angry. This is why many of people that hide, this is why they hide. They are trying to escape a reality. You that hide in the night. Meanwhile, the night time is a time for meditation. This is where people reflect on their life, how they are living. You go and drown your conscience with alcohol, so that let nobody talk anything here. Then you sleep throughout the night like a baby. In the morning you wake up, your conscience wanted to still talk. You go and add another shot. There's only one thing that will make meaning to you. Mark my words. Remember the things I told you today. There's only one thing that will make meaning to you. In the day where you draw your last breath, you will remember these things I'm telling you now. It's only the things you have done for God. These are the only things that would have meaning. Only the things you have done for God. Only the things you have done for God. From that day, your certificate ceases to be your own. Your wife is not your wife anymore. Your children are not your children anymore. No spirit is any spirit's mother. There is no soul will call another soul Mama Gabriel. Every soul will stand on their own. You will now realize all your achievement is measured into the mundane. It's lost forever. What did you achieve for God? Meanwhile, there is something that can follow you into eternity. This one is what I've been, particularly obsessed about. Your stature. What you could touch in God, it will roll over into eternity. From time you were already a luminary. You had contacted so much of light. You had journeyed the path of consecration. When you die, in your resurrection, you will emerge with splendor. So we will not rise with the same physique. Everybody will be different. Our appearance is different. One star will differ from another in glory. But you know what makes you a bright star? He says those who win souls are wise. They will shine like the firmament heavens. The average Christian has no account of soul winning. No. Because the truth is, God is not your master. Jesus is not your Lord. Jesus gave a commandment. You are not keeping it. He is not your Lord. You have no business for souls. You don't care. There are two ways I can share the burden of soul winning with you. I can talk about soul winning from the place of love for people, so that they don't end up in eternal damnation. But the average evil heart of a man will never accept that part. He wants soul winning for personal benefit. So we now talk about your account with God in heaven. If you win souls, you are the one that will benefit. You now say, okay, now you are talking. You don't care who dies. Your brother, your biological brother, your father and your mother are on their express way to hell. It does not concern you. The rich man opened his eye in the flames of hell in torment. His next challenge is, okay, I agree that me, I'll be here. Please send somebody. Send somebody. Do you understand what that means? Part of your biggest pain in eternity will be those loved ones that you wish you would have talked to. Who told you your joy will be full in heaven if the people you were supposed to talk to, all of them ended up in hell? Do you know that the parable of Lazarus and the rich man showed us that inside hell, you can see heaven from there? Do you know that the parable also showed us that those in heaven also can be seeing what is going on the other side? I know you said you want to be strolling by the streets of gold and taking a chill drink from the waters of life while you look upon the lush vegetations of the celestial city. You would try to do that, your operation, and you win every soul you can win, from the smallest. Make sure that your voice witness Jesus to them. If you don't do these things, the totality of your life was measured into selfish pursuit. There are those of us sitting here now to show you what Satan have done to your soul. Even the joy in the Holy Ghost, you cannot sense it again. He had shut it down. You have been wounded by the cares of this world. Solomon calls it chasing after the wind, that you will never catch it. Find God now that you can. That is the biggest guarantee you can make in your life. Best decision ever is to give your life to Jesus. Submit to him faithfully. That's where you can say, in life or in death, I am yours. It's at that point you can say, for me to live is Christ. But if I die, it's not tragedy, it's gain. Because if I die, I translate into another realm, a place of superior help. I've been obsessed recently comparing the realities of the old versus the new. I've been obsessed comparing the realities of the fathers with what we have on ground. I remember my children's church teachers, the people who taught me this thing, those years in deeper life. There is a glory that came out from them. You will see an old man, all he wears is a palm. Have you seen the way some of our fathers dress with a fat material trouser? They were now stocking with palm sandals, looking like you should be pitying them. But there was something that gave them a sense of belonging. Something that did not make them pity themselves. They knew that they were not missing. No matter what Satan was dangling in their face like this, there was an eternal hope that kept them going. He says, Jesus, for the sake of the joy that was set before him. It is that is where they drew strength from. I think I saw one of them recently. His hair now is gray. His back is bent. But I can still see that brightness in his eye. You can't pity him. He pities you. He looks at you and sees you heading to hell with speed. Say, this one, let them help him. He knows where you are going to. You know why? You don't look from the same lens. Something has denatured our sight capacity. All we relate with is the mundane. That's where we now measure the value of our life from what you have. Meanwhile, if it's in this world only you have hope, you are of all men most miserable. You are somebody to be pitied. This life that God can demand anytime, life that God can expect anytime. Can God send you now to Borno? Don't pretend. You know the answer. So the life is your own. Can God send you to Sambisa and say there is a brief invasion? Have you seen Sambisa invasion before? Nobody goes there. Nobody wants to die. I told you it was two-faced. It's a pathetic thing that we needed to make reference to the words of a secular musician. He said, nobody want die, but they want go heaven. They want to go to heaven. But death, they hate it. Can you bow your heads wherever you are?